There are several indications that we're witnessing a semi-ceasefire that is undeclared between Israel and Hamas. Not a full ceasefire, a semi-ceasefire. And let me elaborate on that and why that could be happening at the moment. Israel, in the past 2 weeks, has given Hamas and the Palestinian people what the resistance has been asking for in the negotiations, like the withdrawal of the biggest fighting force from Gaza. That's number one. Number two, getting aid in to the north. Number three, letting people go back to the north. Number four, releasing Palestinian prisoners. All of these things happened in the past 2 weeks. Now you might wonder, well, why are they doing it? Many reasons. Number one, the Palestinian resistance pressure and the perseverance of the Palestinian people, pressure from the United States, and also conditions to do with the undergoing negotiations between Israel and Hamas. So why are they not declaring it? And that's the key question here. It's because Israel doesn't want to show the Israeli population, they don't want to show it to the Israeli public opinion, that once they reach a ceasefire, they have given Hamas all of these things that they wanted. If you go back 1 month ago, Benjamin Netanyahu's tone was continuous military pressure on Hamas up until they give in, up until they submit and they release the Israelis kidnapped in Gaza. That obviously didn't happen. If they reach a deal anytime soon, they would tell the Israeli public that we haven't given them all of what they wanted, because they're already giving it to them. The going back to the north part, that was very critical for Israel. Israel was planning to completely get rid of the population in the north to go down to the south. How comes you're getting people back up north? They were starving people to death. Now all of a sudden you have aid in. They said we wouldn't release anyone. They were actually kidnapping more and more Palestinians to use them as leverage against Hamas, including some of the Gazan population from hospitals, innocent civilians. We've seen the images. Why are they releasing them? All of that because Israel doesn't want to show that they're giving anything to Hamas, and they want to climb down the ladder, but not very blatantly. And this is not new. A similar thing happened with the temporary ceasefire. If you recall, when the temporary ceasefire happened, about 45 days into the war, the Israelis started taking actions before the ceasefire took effect. Similarly, they withdrew a massive number of forces from Gaza. Then they stopped having air surveillance on the population of Gaza. They allowed fuel in, because back then they cut fuel as well and everything. Complete blockade. They didn't allow anything in any part of Gaza. They did many steps before they went into the ceasefire agreement, and these were conditions put by Hamas. Now you might ask, well, why would Hamas agree to such a thing? Well, because from Hamas's perspective, they're interested in giving the Palestinian people the things that they need. And if they're giving it to them without it looking like a political win or a political victory, that wouldn't matter much, because it's related to the civilian welfare side, and it's actually happening. So the agreement that Hamas and Israel could have had behind closed doors during the ongoing negotiations is that they would agree on these steps, and both of them would agree that they wouldn't declare that these are part of the negotiations or a ceasefire deal, so that Israel wouldn't be seen as the side giving the Palestinians things that they want, primarily for Benjamin Netanyahu's image in the Israeli population's eyes.